Bitcoin dipped nearly 4% overnight, hitting as low as 10,090, but managed to hang on to the 10,000 level long enough to take another charge at 10,500 again early this afternoon. Is this the established range for now, or should we prepare for the next big move? Meanwhile, CHZ pumps to the moon on football partnerships, XRP flash crashes on BitMex, liquidating the population of Ohio, Theta and NPXS stretch for the stars, and we begin preparing for Friday, the day of profit taking and weekend volatility. All this and more in today's episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Welcome to Breaking Bitcoin, recorded live in the studio Thursday, February 13th, 2020. This is your daily source for market updates, sentiment, and news for traders. I hope everyone watching today on YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Facebook, and on Roku is doing absolutely fantastic. Make sure to support the show by subscribing and hitting the like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you have any questions, please drop them in the live chat, and the moderators will direct my attention to them in the Q&A segment. We've got a lot to talk about today, guys. A lot to talk about. Things that I want to point out, there's a new article on the website. It's called My Story. This is from a trader that came to be with our group. You guys know him. His name is Paul. He's a moderator for us now. Very talented, very bright young man who came to the group and has leveraged our learning material and really become quite a good trader. He's had his interactions now with being funded as a trader. He's had his interactions with trading multiple markets, not only in cryptocurrency, but in Forex. And honestly, it's an honor to know that the young gentleman and an honor to have him in the community. So he's taken the liberty of writing up his story, what his experience in the community has been like. I'll show you guys that later, but it's on the website under the blog. So crackingcryptocurrency.com/blog. And thank you, Paul. It's really moving to have that story from you, my friend. Make sure that you guys check out, if you're new to the group or if you're new to the community, make sure to check out the Discord tutorial here on the YouTube. We are going to be having a Valentine's Day sale. I talked about revealing the details of that today. Obviously, that went out on the social media this morning. If you are going to be a new member to Cracking Cryptocurrency, then just make sure to follow the information that is put on our social media. And if you are a current member or you're a recurring member, make sure to check the premium announcements channel later today for the announcement. Again, we're going to be doing something a little bit different for you guys. And the information for that, the link that you guys will have to go to will be posted tomorrow morning. Again, I will not be here tomorrow. So this is the last show for the week. I'll be on vacation this weekend and I'll be back on Monday. So don't worry, the team is well enforced and able to take care of anything. And of course, if you have any questions about trading or investing or the group or the Discord or YouTube, anything, all of those questions are answered on the frequently asked questions page, not just for members. It's also for just traders and investors as well. So with that being said, we're going to cover a whole lot today. We're going to cover Department of Justice information. We're going to be covering XRP over on BitMex. That's got me pretty hot. It's got, obviously I wasn't affected by that, but we're going to be talking in general about that, how this could happen, and breaking that down. But with that being said, let's hop right into today's analysis. We've got obviously a nice pullback in the major markets. Altcoins continuing for the most part to move up, but some of them turning over just a little bit. Honestly, we haven't seen significant selling. So again, I am in a healthy, aggressive mindset. Keeping in mind we have Friday coming up. So let's keep all that in mind as we move forward into today's analysis, and let's hop right over to the live scene. All right, here we are in the live scene. Again, yes, you guys can reference the information down below if you are interested in the Valentine's Day sale. The sale will go live tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. All the information has been posted. The coupon codes are valid. They've already been integrated into the system, so you simply go to the website. If you have any information on how to sign up, that is all explained in full detail. I'll walk through in the frequently asked questions page. So you can go to the website, crackingcryptocurrency.com. In the top banner is a resources tab, and underneath that tab is frequently asked questions. And right there it says, how do I sign up? Walks you through how to do it. Log into the website with Discord, and then you can utilize whatever you want. Make sure to use coupon code CryptoLove at checkout. The first 10 subscribers will get 30% off, so you can use CryptoLove30. Yeah, Valentine's Day, one of my favorite holidays. Anyways, here we are in the live scene. We've got Bitcoin currently trading at 10,205 over on Coinbase, Litecoin at 80.73, Ethereum strong at 267.93, and Bitcoin Cash at 467.83. This is Crypto Trading Toys. I kind of like this for a good overview. So we've covered Ichimoku before. Obviously one of the things that we like doing on this channel is showing different forms of analysis. We are systems traders, systems builders. Some of the best traders that I have worked with have utilized Ichimoku. I've utilized Ichimoku as well. If you guys would like more information on Ichimoku or how to utilize it in a trading strategy, not only do we have an indicator, our custom Ichimoku indicator that you can add to your chart for free over on TradingView. Link is in the description down below to our TradingView. You can just search Cracking Crypto on TradingView and you can see our Ichimoku script. There's also a tutorial video on how to utilize not only that indicator, but Ichimoku in general here on YouTube. You can just search for Ichimoku, Cracking Crypto Ichimoku. But anyways, in that same vein, just one of the nice indicators that I like to throw up and do some prognostications here. So anyways, this would be quite strong. We don't have any sort of exit or momentum based indications. Of course, one can view the kind of the TK. So in general, just looking at Ichimoku analysis, and we're going to break down and go look at the kind of breaking Bitcoin analysis here in just a little bit. Following this, we'll get right into Bitcoin and then we'll look at the major movers for the day. He says, BitMex correction already complete. Don says, after that XRP wick, I am doing the live stream from underneath the bridge. No, things are good. We are still in the studio. I was not. So, obviously I published one of my portfolios. XRP was a piece of that. But overall, that holding is doing fantastic, honestly. Gotta get my coffee going on this morning, guys. Pardon me while I take a sip of this. Still very hot. Brett, if you're listening, my friend, still the organic coffee. It's good. It's good, man. Okay, so overall things looking good. Strong and healthy in the market. Is the pullback very significant? No, honestly. We have a long-legged doji over on Litecoin, similar over on Ethereum, but looking strong. And we have squat dojis on Bitcoin Cash and on Bitcoin the Major. Holding, at least here looking at Ichimoku, holding our initial level of support, which is going to be the Tenkan-san, and of course holding the Kijun. Tenkan-san strongly above the Kijun, so we don't really have any kind of turnover, any kind of indication of a trend flip at this point in time. Just some profit taking. We may see this continue on into Friday and into the weekend. Of course, it has been a little bit of time. There's not really anything fundamental going on. I've looked at crypto inflows and outflows. They have not increased. Crypto outflows are still strong across the board, meaning that more Bitcoin and more major coins are leaving exchanges than are being deposited onto exchanges. We covered this yesterday, and then I went through and tracked good information down on how to do that. Again, I talked about, if you guys would like a little bit more information, my friend Bitcoin Trading Challenge has covered that on his channel as well as the tool to do it, which is Token Analyst. But again, I monitored that last night and this morning. Crypto inflows and outflows look quite healthy. There is no sign of a significant change in trend. Again, so I am still quite aggressively bullish. Again, pullbacks are going to happen in this market. They could be 20%, they could be 30%, and that's fine. I think that we are going to get opportunities moving forward to reallocate and reposition. Those of you who are kind of looking for those positional trades, those positional swings, and we'll go over to the weekly time frame and we'll look at that here shortly. But just looking at the daily, just looking at the daily for right now, everything looks quite good. Let's go down to the hourly time frame. Look and see what the major markets are doing. Again, most of the major markets, we can see here, Bitcoin has pulled back into the hourly cloud, doing a little bit of consolidation. The only thing that concerns me here a little bit was that big wick to the upside, grabbing liquidity above the range highs. But overall, not really concerned. Breaking 10,000, I could feel that we could get kind of a more significant correction, maybe a little bit further below the baseline here on the daily time frame. But overall, Litecoin has pulled back to the cloud here on the hourly time frame, having a nice bounce. Ethereum holding itself very strong, hasn't had a break of the range, still range bound. Bitcoin Cash seemed to have swept the lows and is back up to the upside. So actually what we do see here in all of the markets, all of them, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum is potentially on the hourly time frame here, a swing failure patterns. So we have broken the range to the downside. We've formed a swing low, at least on this lower time frame, and we have a failure to make a subsequent low. So again, it's one of the few price action strategies that I like and that I do look at when I'm feeling aggressively bullish or when I look for certain opportunities in the market. You can notice SFPs on the weekly, on the daily, on the 4 hour, on the 5 minute. But as I said, the hourly, 2 hourly is not bad for monitoring meso price action and kind of intraday volatility. So the way that a swing failure pattern, I've covered this before, the way that you trade a swing failure pattern is you wait to notice the SFP, which is making a low and then failing to make another low. And this typically is going to follow kind of a volatile movement. And then you wait for whatever time frame that you're monitoring, you wait for a close on good volume above that high that was generated off of the swing slow. So in this case, we would be looking for a close above 10,263. This is the Coinbase chart to trade the SFP to go long on Bitcoin. Your stop loss would go below the higher low, or you can utilize ATR, whatever you like. Similarly, over on Litecoin, we seem to be pushing and trying for that right now. Again, that would necessitate a stop loss around 79.30. Similar for Ethereum. We need to be getting above 270.62. Then we'll be setting a stop loss around 262.79. And similarly over here on Bitcoin Cash, looking for a break of 473, stop loss placement at 464. Bitcoin needs to get above 10.267, and we would be placing a stop loss at 10.123. So SFPs seem to be valid there on the hourly time frame today, intraday, looking for retests of that $10,400, $10,500 area. Usually when I see a liquidity grab like we saw, here in Bitcoin, particularly where we did sweep the range highs, slightly different on BitMex and Bybit. I tend to get concerned because I see the sell-off and liquidity grab to the upside. And typically when we get a wick like that, we do get a resulting follow-through. But in this case, we need to see a failure of the swing failure pattern, which means we need to close the hourly below these recent lows. So getting an hourly close below 10,147 right now would make me a little suspicious. Now, I went ahead and exited. I spoke to my analyst team last night as I went to bed and gave them the conditions for when I wanted to exit Bitcoin. So I did actually, my team closed out my position last night. So I took my latest Bitcoin leverage long to the upside. I did take a small loss on. They were able to close out the trade at the closure, right about at the open of the second candle. As we were breaking down from the range, and that's kind of one of the things that I saw last night. Last night, I closed out my position in a small profit and then reopened another position after we broke 10,400. And I saw the retest of support, and I was hoping that we would get the bounce from there, but it wasn't to be the case. We ended up getting some volatility to the downside, and I had said that is something that I'm looking out for. Once we kind of break this area, I'd like to be out of this trade. Again, I'm managing it aggressively because I'm trading a little bit aggressively at this point in time. Let's see. The only other small losing trade, it was less than 0.25%, was Dash, right? I'd been in Dash and that moved nicely to the upside, but a Dash ended up pulling back, giving a sell signal on the daily today, actually. So, that's fine. The other trades that I'm in, again, it's been a wild success for the group here in the month of January. In raw trade ROI, up about 100%, pushing up 40% on actual return on investment as far as my USD value. The other senior analysts doing very nicely as well as our junior analysts. So make sure, if you guys are just looking for guidance on, how we position size, what signals we look for, what indications we look for, make sure to join the Discord. We've really become robust with our signal delivery system, especially for free members. We're providing that more and more. And we're adding, we actually are interviewing several analysts to bring onto the team as new analysts. So really exciting times, in addition to all the other features that we've been adding to the group. Also, just making sure the premium members know, I will get module 1 redo done today, and that'll be published as the premium video for you guys this week. And as I said, I will not be here tomorrow, Saturday, or Sunday. So I want, and we got a little something special for you guys planned here on YouTube. So make sure to stay tuned and make sure to subscribe. If you're not receiving notifications when we go live, make sure to hit the bell. If you don't hit the bell, you're not going to get notifications. It's just not going to work. And we post content every day at noon. We post content every single day at 6 p.m. And when we're offline, we post it at noon and 6 p.m. And then sometimes, as I said, we got a little something special planned for you guys this weekend. So, all right, with that being said, let's hop over to the main charts here, guys. Thank you. Let's go over to the Bybit daily. Time transformation is going to be giving us a take profit signal or an exit signal. Again, I was able to get out at a slightly better price using my discretion. However, this is fine. This is fine. If you had taken the continuation signal either from this candle or this candle, it's either a break-even trade depending on how the daily closes or a small loss. So again, we've had multiple successful trades from Bitcoin. Again, what was our original reentry? Right over here. That's when we had gone re-spot long on Bitcoin. So if you had entered at 96.07 spot as we did, and whether you're holding spot as I do because I'm aggressive, or if you're going to be taking the profit on that spot swing trade at 10.2, that's a fantastic trade. That's a fantastic trade. So again, that depends on your personal risk appetite and your risk profile for whether you are, doing my hedging all in, all out strategy, which is aggressive, but I attempt it as conservatively as I can. Let's see here. So time transformation in the overbought area and giving us the cross under the fast length aspect of Fisher transform crossing underneath the slow length. Time transformation being my integration of the Fisher transform algorithm. All right. First off, let's just kind of zoom out and take a look at overall where we are in the market cycle. Overall, we have come right back up into a kind of, as I talked about. Let's throw on volume profile. Let's see if we can't get VPVR. Okay, as you guys can see, we are kind of at this high volume node, stretching back, looking at the consolidation area from 2019 on the way down and on the way back up. Inefficiencies in the market on the way up, which were filled on the sell-offs on the way down in 2019, i.e., as I said, Bitcoin is not stair steps up, elevator down, as are most assets. It is the opposite. It is elevator up, stair steps down, and we spent a lot of time consolidating here. So resistance here doesn't really surprise me. We did tap into this low volume node above 10,428, as you guys can see, and we did reject from there. Where I really have my eye, though, is up here at 10,888, really stretching up to about 11,237. That's where price wants to go. That's a low volume node. The next high volume node getting above that is this kind of meso consolidation around 11,400. And again, getting above that, we really start getting into low volume node territory where price tends to rip through it just like butter. So we got a little resistance to overcome here. We do want to get a nice daily close, kind of backpedaling and holding 10,300, 10,400 as support. I think once we see that, I think we can easily see 11,000, 11,200 stretching up and tapping that low volume node. Also, again, we have that large initiation of sell right here, as I pointed out, at around 10,800, 10,900. Getting over that is going to be, again, you guys can just see we've gone from level to level to level to level to level here on the volume profile analysis. So we'll continue to do that as we move forward. Forming, if we zoom in on what's going on today, we have formed a good initiation of buy. As you guys can see, the point of control, i.e. the area of the most volume by price, is forming underneath where price is currently. So a lot of ways to interpret that or view that. Closing above that might be a sign of some good bullish, buying the dip a little bit here on Bitcoin, and we can get some nice surgence above that, particularly if we can rally and close above 10,360 on the daily here on Bybit. Closing below that might have us sinking down. Again, our next low volume node, you can see here that we dipped into low volume node territory. And then we rejected from there. We corrected back up. But low volume node territory below us is going to be around 9,800 is where we have some HVN support. And then more specifically down here at 9,400. And again, as I've said, I will continue to say, I have resting limit bids at 9,400 to get filled still. Those are still on the books. Those are still sitting there. So that is the area. If we get that nice fill of that market inefficiency with that large red candle to the large green candle to the upside, that's where I would like to get refilled. And currently, I think that overall the shelf of price is sitting down here right around 9,000. I don't think that we're going to be seeing price under 9,000 for quite a while. And again, as I pointed out on the weekly time frame, we've had our 200 simple moving average on the weekly move up to 5,600. So price will not be going below 5,600. So if you're kind of looking on that weekly, trading the weekly, looking at those large positions, I highly doubt, I find it very untenable that we're going to be seeing price under 5,600. And it's possible that we might not see price under 9,000, but that is not confirmed. That is not confirmed. It does depend on what the market does. It will take a while to lock in 9,000 as confirmed support. It just depends on what the correction on this recent swing will look like. Let's getting over to the weekly chart, just giving you guys kind of an update on the weekly. Nope, not that. That's not what I want. I want to go over to Breaking Bitcoin. All right. Again, on the weekly time frame, Bitcoin looking good. We have moved on up to the east side. Let's see here. Where is our level of invalidation at? 89.23. We've moved that up to 89.23. So longs are valid on the weekly time frame above 89.23, which lines up very nice with that shelf of price that I talked about at 9,000, which is basically going to be the previous weekly low, 9,000. I don't think we're going to see price below that. If price falls below that, we will invalidate. And the weekly bullish trend isn't actually lost until down here around the $8,000 level, but we'll be in a no trade zone below 9,000. We are getting a weekly doji only about halfway through the week, so we've got a few more days, but the most significant trading days of the week are done. Saturday, what happens on Saturday and Sunday largely tends to be a wash. Price will pump, price will sell back down, or price will dump, and price will buy back up. So again, largely weekend volatility is irrelevant. The weekly looks good. Minx is nowhere near the overbought territory. Getting rid of Minx real quick and looking at time transformation. Looking at time transformation, we've just poked our head for the first time into the overbought region. As I said, what do we often get when we get into the overbought territory on these macro timeframes? We get acceleration, right? Price doesn't reject when we go overbought on Bitcoin. We accelerate faster, right? Everybody that says that price rejects when we go overbought has not studied Bitcoin. Bitcoin is elevator up, stair steps down, not stair steps up, elevator down. Context matters. Context matters when you're dealing with overbought, oversold. All right. And then the other thing that I'd like to look at here real quick is I want to take bottom feeder off and let's look at just going to put my indicator on, which is my EMA indicator. Cool. And we've got our multiples there. Again, the 13 weekly exponential moving average strongly above the 55, giving us this nice kind of cluster, this guppy level of support right around 9,000 to 8,500, looking for aggressive reentries. Again, our 55 EMA has moved up to 80.69. Unlikely that we get back down below that because as you can see, we kind of have this island pattern where we found it as support, dipped below, came back up, reestablished it as support, and we've had this nice kickoff now. And again, as I said, this is on Coinbase. On Bitstamp, it's actually 5,600, but our 200 simple moving average has moved up to 53.63 here on Bitcoin, and I believe it's 5,600 on Coinbase, or on Bitstamp, I apologize. So again, kind of forming the absolute low and floor and shelf of price right now. Basically, and again, bullish, nothing really overhead or above us, in my opinion. All right, with that being said, let's take a look at the broader market right now today. Big movers of the day are going to be Theta, CHZ, NPXS doing well. Kyber Network actually moving its way up there. Overall, for the dollar pairs, we kind of have a little bit of a correction here in the altcoin market. STX down 13%. Hedera Hashgraph selling off 17%, but who cares? It's up over 200%. VSys, Sele, Celsius, Icon, Mona, Lisk, Raven, SNX, Nano, all of them having a little bit of a correction, but they're up insane percentages. And so if this is the sell-off, after 100% pumps, if this is the sell-off, I'm feeling pretty confident about a continued alt season, gentlemen. But again, big movers of the day. Bytecoin we see up well. S&T, CHZ, Theta up as well. XRP, NPXS. So looking a little bit more closely at our big mover of the day, CHZ moving up about 33.4%. And it was announced today on CHZ from FC Barcelona, which is Spain's top football club, that they are partnering with the Socios.com app. And Socios uses the Chili's CHZ token to provide to provide a type of economy for sports fan engagement. It's used by fans to vote and engage with their favorite football clubs. FC Barcelona being the largest one in Spain. Previous partnerships include the football club hopefully I pronounced this correctly, Juventus and Roma FC, two of the biggest Italian football clubs as well, and up about 30%. Chili's is on the day and about 100% on the week. And again, the official tweet from Chili's saying, in the famous words of CZ, be careful what you wish for, announcing the partnership between Chili's and FC Barcelona. Taking a look at the Chili's market. Here we are on the weekly. As we can see on the weekly, up about 60%, peak to trough from the open of the week. We did reach about 87% up. This is the tether pair. On the daily, again, we have a lot of indications here. Let's look at the breaking Bitcoin. Again, we talked about this one as well. We can see Wadatar explosion confirming positive volume all the way back here in February. At the beginning of February, here on the daily, we are above. We have flipped the initiator, the breaking Bitcoin initiator, and above the baseline. The baseline is available to all premium subscribers right now. And when do we get positive confirmation? Right here. We get it on the 31st. You get time transformation approval. We get it again on the 1st of February. We run up. We have a nice initial exit right here. And let's say that we miss this move to the downside. When do we get the re-entry signal, the recrossover? Right here. And you are in for all of this. We get unnatural volume here on the daily, which is an indication for a potential exit. So again, CHZ, awesome opportunity to lock in some profits. And let me tell you guys, again, I said this with Hedera Hashgraph. I'm going to say it with CHZ, and I'm going to say it with all of these altcoins that do these big 50% movements, which we've caught several of these. Now, here's the thing. You know, everybody wants to be greedy at this point in time and hold on or pile in or buy right here. I'm never going to recommend that somebody buy in right here. I'm never going to do that. What I am going to say is that you can manage your risk appropriately, and you can buy in certainly if you want to, but not really. There are always going to be a pullback. The market doesn't go full parabolic, and there is a large potential here, guys. There's a large potential here. But there are many, many other coins out there that are going to do similar movements that haven't done it yet. So that is where I would recommend looking at. Look for where the opportunity is. Where is the inefficiency in the market? Go find the coins that haven't announced a partnership yet, whether the partnerships are real or not, right? We see this wave. We see this altcoin cycle. There's a lot of cynicism out there like, oh, it's the wave of partnerships, blah, blah, blah. It's also possible, guys, that 2018, and this is what I learned, particularly when I was in San Francisco for Blockchain Week. Some of the best companies that have cryptocurrency projects, whether they're altcoins or shitcoins or whatever you want to call them, the ones that were well capitalized and ICO'd in 2017, 2018, well, they had a bunch of money. So you know what they did for 2018 and a lot of 2019, they put their heads down and built, right? Whereas a lot of new traders to the space, investors who just bought in and watched their investments go down 80, 90%, you know, they just got mad and bitter and cynical and left crypto. Meanwhile, you know, some good content creators stayed around and tried to rally individuals like we've been around, making videos consistently since 2017. And you know, several others, but unfortunately, a lot of the worst elements in the space stayed around as well. That's why we started Cracking Cryptocurrency, to provide good information and to provide good trade information and education, because it's a sea. It's a sea of scum out there, guys. It's a sea. Or at least it was for a long time. It's getting better now. It's getting better now. But of course, with with the bull market, you know, you get the scammers coming out of the woodwork. So always protect yourself. But these companies put their heads down and built, and now they have much better products, right? More palatable products. And with cryptocurrency, again, on the lips of world governments, with CBDCs on the lips of world governments, with with the halvening upcoming, with excitement rising, with retail interest rising, with institutional investment interest rising, it's the time. So, you know, I know, and I understand I'm cynical as well, but I'm not as cynical for, I'm really not as cynical as a lot of the more hardcore maxis are, which is fine. Again, you know, fundamentally, I support Bitcoin and the project of Bitcoin. I want to change the earth. I want to see capitalism embraced radically across the world. And I think that Bitcoin is a fantastic tool to do that. I think that Bitcoin is a fantastic tool to make the world a better place. But it's opportunities, guys. As traders, look for the market opportunities. So with something like CHZ, though, if you are in position on CHZ and you are up, and this is true for any coin that you're in, right? We've been recommending altcoin trades literally for the last 3 years, right? In particular, we've been very aggressive over the last couple of months, very much to our success in the group, right? And when you happen to catch these large movements, because we trade on the daily time frame, so while you've got these 15-minute scalpers coming out thinking that they trade, they have no idea what they're talking about, whereas we focus on catching these large trending movements. When you've caught them, okay, here's what to do. Take profit off the table, set a trailing stop loss, a very wide trailing stop loss, and walk away from the screen. That's what you do. Something like this, something like block stacks, something like links, you are not going to improve your rate of return by trying to manage the trade on the 15-minute time frame or the hourly time frame or the 4-hour time frame. Let the weekly trends play out. Let the daily trends play out. And the way to do that is to take profit at a certain level, like we teach individuals to do, move your stop loss to break even. And if it goes significantly higher, set a trailing stop loss relevant to current price and walk away. Catch the trend. Let it do its thing. Because these things will do that for you, right? This is going to be my third large altcoins market cycle that I've gone through with 2 miners in the middle there. And it's the best way to do it. It's the best way to do it. It's the stress-free way to do it, man. It's a stress-free way to do it. And it's the way to get more return. It's the way to get more return. It's the way to ensure that your trade, that you get something out of the trade, because there's going to be opportunities where it pumps 60%, you take some profit, and then it comes down and hits your stop loss. So what? You made money. Just not as much as you wanted to. You still made money, while a lot of people bought the top and lost money. So again, good enough trading. Consistent profit. Consistently profitable, good enough trading. Key to success, guys. All right, with that being said, my editor is extremely mad at me because I talked about that too much. But also, other big mover of the day is going to be Theta. Other big mover of the day is going to be Theta, up on the daily. Let's see here, 21.54% open to close currently, or current price. Peak to trial from daily open, 32.20%. So fantastic opportunity. Did we get yesterday? Yes, we would have got a continuation signal. So for those utilizing time transformation or minks or water tar explosion, again, fantastic opportunity on the table. Not one that I was in. Again, looking at other opportunities, we were able to catch Tomo. We were able to catch a lot of these other movements as well. STX, for example, yes. So let's see here. Similar situation with Theta USDT. Theta USDT, take some profit, move that stop loss aggressively, not aggressively, conservatively. Move that stop loss pretty wide away from price and accept that it can either go straight back down or hope that it will continue to charge up like a bull. Not an entry candle, wait for a pullback. If it does do that back to zero type thing, well, you wait to get overbought and then you go in and you're aggressive or you use your moving averages. All these strategies that we've taught. All right. When we left off, I do believe that we were talking about Theta. We were talking about Theta. So we're kind of done with Theta. The other big mover of the day that I don't really have any information about, there doesn't seem to be any fundamentals behind the movement, is going to be NPXS. But we see here that Bitcoin, KNC, and S&T moving up nicely as well. Getting back into kind of our larger, broader overview. Oh, okay. So significant announcements, things that are changing for all of us guys are going to be Coinbase Pro has now just introduced margin trading. So you can now, not yet, but you will soon be able to access up to 3x leverage on your Coinbase Pro trades. This is great. So make sure that you guys, if you guys are interested in qualifying for that, that you go get on the wait list. You can do this immediately. I have already gone and done this, added myself to the wait list. There are some factors that will push you up the wait list, such as, this is just the way it is, the amount of equity that you have, how many assets you hold on the exchange, what your frequency of trading is. That's all listed in their kind of prospectus for this. But yes, here is the, you can just go to blog.coinbase.com and you can see the information here. It does say here that states where margin trading is currently going to be available are Florida, Texas, Illinois, New Jersey, Virginia, Georgia, Arkansas, Arizona, Oregon, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Maine, Nebraska, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Colorado, Kansas, Maine, South Carolina, Utah, Wisconsin, Wyoming, and West Virginia. Other states to come as applicable. All right, so let's take a brief moment just to introduce you guys. Of course, Make sure to go check out, as I said, one of our moderators, Paul, who has become a brilliant young trader in and of his own right, a fantastic member of our community. You guys know him from the Discord. He has recently published a brief kind of story of his life and how he came to cracking cryptocurrency and how being in the group has improved his trading. That's live here. If you go to crackingcryptocurrency.com and go to the blog, it's the first article on there. Make sure to check out the new member tutorial as well. If you guys are new to the Discord or would like a good walkthrough or kind of an example of what the signal delivery system looks like as well, make sure to check out the premium Discord tutorial live here on YouTube. Moderator Jack made that as well. Also, our free Discord walkthrough, Paul was instrumental in making this as well. And then make sure to check out that frequently asked questions page on the website. All right, with that being said, guys, I want to thank today's crypto comment giveaway sponsor, Spectre Security Coin. Make sure to check them out. Link in the description down below. Sorry, the page is loading. Again, I seem to have angered the internet gods. Maybe I angered the YouTube algorithm. But all right, guys. Yeah, make sure if you're coming back to the stream, make sure to help us out. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. If you don't hit the bell icon, you're not going to get notifications, and we publish content every single day. And help us out. Hit that hit that like button to help us out with the YouTube algorithm. We seem to have angered the algorithmic gods. But security is extremely important, and with the bull season in full swing, you want to make sure that you are securing your funds safely and securely. Everything from the passwords that you're using to how you're managing your cold storage to how you're holding funds on exchanges. All these security-related questions that many individuals coming into the space who are new to the space are not going to be experts at, but Spectre Security Coin is. This is what they do. This is what their whole business is devoted to, and these are the people that we trust with our security. So they do one-on-one consultations. They have many features and services available, so make sure to go check them out if you need any help with your security. Link in the description down below. And I want to thank them for sponsoring today's YouTube comment giveaway, where we give away cryptocurrency every single day. Yesterday's video was Bitcoin holding strong, so we have 11 potential winners. We're going to randomly pick a winner. And for the, I think, 12th time is going to be Mr. Wendy. Thank you so much for your support, my friend. Hopefully you are crushing it. I enjoyed your comments and chatting with you at the community mentoring session for professional, advanced, and elite members. So hopefully you're doing well. But get a hold of me in the Discord and I will gladly tip you some crypto. And thank you again to Spectre Security Coin for sponsoring that giveaway. We've got a lot to talk about today, a lot in the breaking news. So let's get right into that with today's Crypto Currently segment. All right, now, our first story is U.S. federal agencies are seeking millions in new funding to bolster the crypto effort, and we've got some good information cutting on this. Now, U.S. federal agencies within the DOJ, the Department of Justice, as well as the Treasury Department, are seeking millions in funding in order to bolster their cryptocurrency oversight and enforcement efforts. And this is according to a review of the latest budget documents that we have available to us. Whether we want to review the latest budget proposed from President Trump. On Wednesday, U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin spoke to a U.S. Senate committee hearing, and he described how FinCEN is gearing up to release new regulatory requirements related to cryptocurrencies, and a budget expansion is a necessary part of their oversight, saying, quote, "We want to make sure that the technology moves forward, but on the other hand, we want to make sure that cryptocurrencies aren't used for the equivalent of old Swiss secret numbered bank accounts," Mnuchin remarked, even though last I heard those are in full swing and full effect. On Monday, of course, the Trump administration unveiled their $4.8 trillion budget plan. Outlined in the budget summary is a planned move of the U.S. Secret Service out of the Department of Homeland Security and into the Treasury Department, a move said to expand the Treasury's oversight of the cryptocurrency space. Saying, quote, "Technological advancement in recent decades, such as cryptocurrencies and the increasing interconnectedness of the international financial marketplace, have resulted in more complex criminal organizations and revealed stronger links between financial and electronic crimes and the financing of terrorist and rogue actors," the summary document states. Now, a deeper look at the budget reveals several major government departments are vying for the allocation of congressional funds in order to shore up their crypto enforcement efforts. The budget concerns financial year 2021, which begins on October 1st, 2020. To no one's surprise, Among those agencies looking for a crypto budget is the Internal Revenue Service. According to the 2021 proposed budget, the IRS wants $40.54 million to, quote, expand cyber and virtual currency compliance efforts, saying this additional funding would support the hiring of 108 special agents to conduct more criminal investigations related to cyber and virtual currency, the IRS wrote, adding that as a result, about 450 additional criminal investigations are projected to be completed from fiscal year 2023 to fiscal year 2025 once the new hires reach their full potential. Additionally, estimates are that as a result of the additional special agents, these agencies will identify $197.3 million annually in tax revenues, either not reported to the IRS or fraudulently refunded by the IRS. So kind of looking for a 3-to-1 return. Again, the IRS is there as a tool of the state to squeeze more money out of the taxpayer. So they're saying, hey, if you invest 40 million in us, we'll return 127 million. Probably the number is closer to 250 million, but of course the IRS has to get their pound of flesh. Now, another department you may never have heard about is the Office of Foreign Assets Control. That's OFAC. Now, they operate under the Office of Terrorism and Financial Intelligence, and they are seeking $812,000 to hire 4 full-time virtual currency investigators, saying presently OFAC has a single investigator focused on the illicit use of virtual currency, and this investigator is often pulled away from purely investigative duties in order to share virtual currency expertise across terrorism and financial intelligence, since this area is of high concern, but also an uncommon area of technical competency. Meanwhile, investigators across most sanctioned programs are reporting increasing exposure to the use of virtual currencies by the targets of their investigations. And then, of course, there is FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, which is looking for $819,000 and 3 full-time employees to support building out FinCEN's virtual currency and cyber threat mitigation program. As they explained, the funds are going to allow them to have the international capacity to build in order to ensure that accessibility of critical information exists for investigations that include an international component. The utilization of software tools will allow FinCEN to double the number of virtual currency analyses, corroborate findings, and increase their big data analytics capability, allowing for automated analytics and visualization of financial and cyber data. Other agencies also looking for additional funding are more, shall we say, independent outfits. More independent outfits like the Commodity Futures and Trading Commissions, as well as the Division of Risk and Clearing, as well as the Division of Enforcement. Now, the FBI's Transnational Organized Crime Office is asking for an additional $1.5 million to hire 6 analysts. And in its request, they state that illicit financial networks are inherent to illegal activity and are often at the center of TOC investigations. However, due to the international movement of illicit funds and technological developments, such as virtual currencies, though thorough financial analysis is limited. Of course, the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, is sinking $3.25 million to provide analytics and data support for its transaction-centric investigations. The documents appear to state that the agency wants to bring in 2 full-time intelligence research specialists, and they're going to be assigned to the trade-based money laundering cases, TBML cases, saying a dedicated team will analyze potentially illicit transactions and follow the money through bank accounts, wire transactions, shell companies, and virtual currency transactions. So we've covered this a whole lot. In addition to CBDCs coming forward, in addition to the new IRS guidelines, in addition to the regulatory compliance that we're seeing from exchanges, here's the thing. The government is getting better and gearing up to be able to prosecute virtual crime more efficiently. However, what I want to propose, though, is, listen, we don't want to get into a large, statism versus free markets here. We'll have that conversation at another time. Obviously, you guys know where I stand. So I'm against a lot of this. But what I'm going to propose here is that this is a bullish thing. Okay. There are enough institutional investors, professional investors, retail investors making enough money that the government is paying attention. The market cap is rising enough that the government is coming in and laying the groundwork, the framework to have the same kind of professional prosecution, investigation, data analytics, regulation, compliance that we have for commodities, that we have for Forex markets, that we have for stock trading. So the fact that the government is investing the money or potentially investing the money to begin building out the infrastructure for this is an incredibly bullish sign. Although it is negative, and especially, hardcore Bitcoin privacy, security-centric advocates for decentralization will push against this, will push against regulation, as they should, because that's the drum that they beat. The point that I want to make here is that as the framework is built out for individuals who are interested in number going up, for individuals who want to see Bitcoin, especially for individuals that entered post 2017, individuals, investors, especially retail investors, the large majority of you individuals watching right now, you guys want to see the number go up. You guys want to see cryptocurrency, the cryptocurrency markets, do something similar to the S&P 500, to the index funds that they've done for the last 100 years, which is largely go up and be in a large pronounced bull market, right? Steadily moving up, safe investments, number going up, and allowing Bitcoin to do what Bitcoin does, which is form the final settlement layer for international transactions and forming the basis of the monetary system, right? That's going to take multiple steps and multiple movements. But as far as the realm of investment, trading, price appreciation, this is actually a good sign if you step back and look at this. The more infrastructure that is set there for regulatory compliance, the more institutional investment will be there. The more institutional investment that is there, the more stable the price will be. And the more stable the price is, i.e. the larger the market cap, because the larger the market cap, the more liquid the market, the less volatile the market is, foregoing large dramatic swings, which will always happen. This is how markets work. Market manipulation is a thing. It makes cryptocurrency a safer investment for the average man. The more liquid the market, the more stable the market, the more we can actually be realistic when we tell our friends and family, invest in Bitcoin, invest in cryptocurrency, it's safe, it's going to go up. Whereas a lot of individuals that got really excited and got their friends and family involved in cryptocurrency, if they did so at the wrong times, and there's kind of two pivotal moments, two main moments, or actually just really one in recent history, where the excitement was extremely high, the FOMO was extremely high, maybe two. But that was going to be the peak of the market in 2017, 2018, and it was going to be the peak of the recent market back in June of 2019, right? And unfortunately, and I know this from my experience in the space, we saw a lot of new retail investors enter into the space right at that moment in time, and they bought at the exact worst time, right? And they weren't prepared for the drawdown. The more liquid the market, the more institutional investment comes in. This is actually the concept that I talked about with Ansel Linder of Bitcoin and Markets. Make sure to go check out that podcast interview. It's down in our cryptocurrency segment. Fantastic guy, very smart guy. This is exactly what we talked about. We believe that Bitcoin it's potentially focusing on the wrong thing in our marketing campaign. We do want to get larger money in so that the network, so that the price is more stable and on average goes up more, and we get rid of these violent swings to the downside, these violent corrections, and initiate this very long bullish trend. Of course, Bitcoin in a parabolic bullish trend, but we're trying to stretch this out for the next 100, 200 years. And the more money, the more institutional investment, the more positioned governments are, the more regulation, the more that they will do that. The more that they will do that, and the safer it becomes realistically for the average retail investor. Now, there's other ways that we can do this, but again, if you want to bootstrap Bitcoin, to be an international settlement layer, then you're going to need large swaths of capital in the system, right? Well, who has large swaths of capital? Institutional investors, banks, institutions, governments, all of these things. They need to be bootstrapped to the network. That's how you bootstrap a global payment system. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to bootstrap a global successful payment network that is going to take over for the legacy financial system utilizing retail investment funds. It's difficult to do. I think negative in the short term, obviously not a good thing for individuals that have been getting away with crimes, but I'm against crimes anyways. But I think that if we take a step back, I think this is overall a positive development for the price and for the market. And it's inevitable. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm on the side of government with this. Far from it. Far from that. But what I certainly am going to say is that from an investment perspective, this makes the asset class more attractive to those on the fence. It just does. It just simply does. Just simply does. All right, so again, controversial. Please let me know your comments in the section down below, including death threats. They're valid. Let me know your thoughts. We will pick, we're going to be switching things up. So next week, we're going to be doing a week-long giveaway, and we're going to be giving away some merch, guys. So again, make sure to leave those comments down below. At the end of the week, we'll pick a winner from all of the videos, and we'll be gifting some merch to you guys. Smart money, make money. Big bank, take little bank. What? All right, so again, let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions and comments down below. If you're watching live, just wait till the end of the video, and the video processes. Takes about 5 minutes. You can leave your comment down below. Don't miss your chance to win. All right, now our next story. Was anybody trading the XRP USD perpetual contract on BitMex? Just love that picture right there. So XRP crashed about 60% over there on BitMex over the early mornings. Price was brought down 56% in one candle. XRP enthusiasm failed to stop liquidations. Just a massive cascading of liquidations right here. Just reading the article right here. XRP just appeared on the BitMex markets just a few weeks ago, caused the ire of traders to drop from 32 cents to 14 cents in one trading candle. Market participants counted the losses from the trading glitch. Jacob Canfield over here says, my mama told me that's the devil's coin, and I'm starting to believe her. Again, here's the rub. We're seeing a lot of, complaints that BitMex failed to trigger their stop losses, and we have to understand a few things. This leads to immediate liquidations. So again, the first thing to note here is that I have largely stopped trading on BitMex. Bybit is a far superior platform. This kind of stuff I've never seen this kind of stuff happen on Bybit. So again, say what you will, but I have moved the majority of all of my leverage trading over to Bybit because it's a superior platform. If you're interested, there is a link down in the description. I recommend that you do that. So many traders that I've talked to who leverage trade with me now, whether they be students or whether they be colleagues of mine in the realm of trading, again, the narrative seems pretty clear. Some individuals make money on BitMex, but most individuals who go over to BitMex lose money. And I haven't heard that same narrative with those individuals I've seen migrate from BitMex to Bybit. It's a better platform. It's a better platform. And maybe there's a component of that where a lot of these individuals are students in our course, so they're learning the risk management necessary to leverage appropriately and margin trade appropriately. So maybe that's definitely a part of it too. So I don't want to undersell, the strength of our community and the benefit of being in the community and watching the show and just being with us and doing what we do. Having said that, however, Mark DeKoning, who's not a bad trader in my opinion. Again, this tweet actually, kind of upset me. Him posting this, he's saying, WTF, F you BitMex, this is really not okay. My stop didn't trigger and my entire BitMex account is gone, F you. Now, again, full sympathy to individuals who this has happened to. It's a terrible event. You guys know my story. When I started off in trading, I sucked 10 years ago. I liquidated almost 3 accounts, 2 full accounts. I lost 5 figures before I got good at trading, and I was just stubborn and bashed my head against the wall. And now I've been consistently profitable for about 9 years. And, these are things, but, geez, guys, risking your entire, now here's the thing, right? It is possible to deposit just, kind of your at-risk capital to BitMex and use your liquidation price as an efficient stop loss. That's fine. So say you want to take 2% risk. So you deposit, 2% of your trading account onto the exchange, onto BitMex, for example, and you open up, basically a max risk trade with your liquidation price at where you want your stop loss to be. And if you lose, right? And you're out 2% of your account or 3% of your account, 1%, whatever your risk percentage is. That is the proper way to use liquidation as an efficient stop loss. But listen, guys, it's not where there's so much money to be made. Consistent, patient trading, very huge, large bets on platforms, especially if you're inexperienced, is not the way to go. There's so much money to be made if you just position size correctly. This is very interesting. We were speaking with, I was speaking with a student who's actually a really talented trader, but he was struggling with understanding the way that we position size, the way that we take larger positions than our equity at times. We take sometimes 200% of equity trades, 300% of equity trades, and that's all based on where our stop loss is, because your risk is how much money you're going to lose at your stop loss, right? Your risk is how much money you're going to lose at your stop loss. And so if you calculate and put on what we consider to be the optimum position sizing for trading, excluding if you go down the route of like Kelly bets and all that stuff. We showed this individual, my team, we showed this individual how he was position sizing right now, like basically just saying, I take, a static amount of contracts per trade, 10,000 contracts per trade, 20,000 contracts per trade on this platform, 10,000 on this platform. And we showed him, we did the math with our position size calculator in our journal that we provide to members. We typed in, if he would have position sized appropriately, which is actually less risky, which is actually a safer way to trade, and he doubled his return on investment if he just would have position sized appropriately. So, definitely, I think that is a huge thing that we teach, that we advocate, that proper position sizing, risk management. I have a lot of videos on this here on the channel. So if you're new to this concept, if you're learning about position sizing, it's easy to do. It's easy to calculate. It's easy to figure out. And it's a safer, more optimal way to trade, because at the end of the day, it's the amount of contracts that you have that determine your risk. It is how much money you put into the trade that determines the risk. Position size, leverage doesn't matter. Margin doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is your position size and where your stop loss is, right? People way overcomplicate it and focus on the wrong things. And I think that BitMex is responsible for this, because I have new students come in and I'll recommend leverage trades and they're like, oh, what leverage are you recommending? Why am I going to recommend leverage, right? Calculate your position size based on your equity and your stop loss and put your leverage where it needs to be. Leverage doesn't matter. If you take a 10x trade, you don't get 10x profit, right? All leverage does, and I'm sorry to go off on this rant, but this is my soapbox. All leverage is it adjusts how much margin or collateral you need to put into the individual position. That's it. It doesn't increase your profits. What it does, if you abuse leverage, is you can then leverage your entire account balance to take on a gross position size that is putting you out of your risk profile, and then you're going to get wrecked. Sooner or later, you're going to get wrecked. So looks like I need to change the text on that TradingView pop-up, don't I? Trading, another thing in life where size really does matter. All right. But listen, a lot of angry XRP traders this morning. And there's a couple things that I want to point out insofar as how here is the tweet. And there's some really good points. There's some really good points on this Twitter thread right here. Coming from Mohit, he says, MEX liquidations are based on fair price marking, and that is a function of the underlying index value. So this should not have happened. Again, yes. So BitMEX's underlying engine, its fair price marking is based on the index value, and liquidations are handled with this fair price marking. So the entire engine is designed. Listen, BitMEX, they're not stupid over there, right? They're not. I don't think that BitMEX, I don't think that BitMEX is fraudulent. I think that a lot of people don't know and don't understand what lack of liquidity and high leverage does. People put themselves in a position to get squeezed, and you're going to have people take advantage of that. Now, whether or not the exchange is directly responsible for that, I doubt it, because they're going to make more money consistently just doing what they're supposed to be doing. But again, looking at BitMEX's insurance fund, but again, people are responsible for doing that, because again, there's a very brilliant individual in our group. He's a mathematician, and he's created a graph that I've looked at, and it shows that there is, if you look at open positions on BitMEX and leverage being used, there is a direct correlation to the higher your leverage goes, the greater the historical rate of the insurance fund grows. There's a direct correlation. So people are responsible for doing this, right? You guys, it's not like BitMEX is reaching into your pockets and taking out money. Individuals are trading inappropriately on these platforms because you have uneducated retail investors and traders coming in and thinking that they're going to get rich and taking excessive risk, and they are creating the opportunity for exchanges to do this, right? It's not BitMEX's fault. You guys allow BitMEX to do this. But the other good point on here is, well, B saying 2 problems. First, you went long on XRP. Second, you're using BitMEX. But here, yeah, here's the real answer to the question. It's, the stop loss triggered, but because such a large trader dumped the market with a massive market sell and cleared out all the liquidity from the initiation of his sell to the end of his sell down here, all the stop losses in between triggered. But the way the engine works is it looks for where can I get filled? Where can I get filled? And it jumps to where it can get filled, which is at the bottom of the candle. Now, ideally, the insurance fund is supposed to cover this. So that's the only thing. The insurance fund is supposed to cover that differential, not your account balance. Depends on if you're using cross margin or not. But here, that's the thing, the bankruptcy price and the liquidation price. So if you're using cross margin, you're going to get screwed. Isolated margin in this particular instance, your liquidation price and any difference in slippage is supposed to be covered by the insurance fund. Otherwise, they'd have to socialize losses. And what they seem to be doing is neither. What they seem to be doing is taking from your account. So we need more data. If he was using cross margin, that explains it. If he was using isolated margin, it shouldn't have happened, right? So again, need a little bit more data from Mark. Maybe I'll tweet at him later after the show. But yeah, I think that's all the information that I wanted to cover as far as that goes. But again, overall, unfortunate incident. Again, other exchanges not so much affected. And overall, my portfolio holdings of XRP not really affected whatsoever. Again, up a little bit more actually now. All right, it is 1:17, guys. We've been going long, but I want to give you guys a little bit extra because it is going to be our last show of the week. So let's get to the question and answer segments and see what you guys got for me. Oh, okay. Listen, I screwed up yesterday. I know, guys, over there on DLive. I know that I did not fulfill my fiduciary obligation to you guys and hit you up with those delicious tendies. So I'm going to fix that right now. Big Saints, he needs some lemons to cover his XRP losses. Let's do it big today. So I'm putting 500 lemons in the basket. I'm going to answer the first question, and then I'm going to open the basket. All right. Cryptonomics says, have I noticed the commission fees being really high on Bybit? Is there an alternative? So first, no, I haven't. And what do you mean by commission fees? Like maker-taker fees? That's going to be dependent on your position size. As far as if you're talking about funding, I don't think it's high. I think it's right in line with what BitMex is doing, especially as the liquidity is growing on Bybit. So yeah, need a little bit more data. Honestly, no, I don't think that there is an alternative. And again, I've noticed that a consistently profitable, any consistently profitable strategy and fees become largely irrelevant. I mean, fees on Bybit, fees on any crypto platform are so small compared to the fees on traditional exchanges or trading other asset classes. I think we're a little spoiled. I'm not saying that you are, man. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to come at you that way. I'm just saying, no, I haven't, man. Honestly, I think fees on Bybit are actually really low. Mr. QC says, hey, Justin, can I repeat the use of the white cross below the baseline? Continuation and validation? No, that's a primary initiator. That's the primary initiator. Now, what you guys are seeing, it's actually plotted as a line right now. Normally, you guys see it as dots. I'm just plotting it differently today. But let's go to the daily, and I'll point that out, the different components of the system. Yeah, the white crosses are going to represent the actual initiation. If we have black, as we can see over here, let's zoom in. A little hard to see, but right here we have a black cross on this candle. We crack it and we get a white cross. And once that happens, that's the signal to go long, right? If we crack this white cross, it'll turn black and that's the signal to go short. Now, the line, which you guys have seen as dots, I call them golden dot continuations, purple dot continuations. That's different. It's basically the same system. It's more sensitive. And that's continuation, right? So above that line and within range of the baseline, so basically within qualifier, that's validation to continue to go long. So we actually are getting a continuation signal today. This is going to be in line with what, guys? Aggressive reversal baseline bounces, manage risk appropriately. And as I said, in range continuation trades, right? So those are all components of the, I'm sorry, guys. Those are all components of the baseline indicator, right? So the baseline indicator will tell you when you have a no trade zone based on candle size and also outside of qualifier. And then when you come back in over a 3-bar period, it'll give you the trade qualification signal, right? So kind of the same concept, right? All of that depends on in range of the qualifier from the baseline, right? Depending on what your baseline is. RJ Jama says, I have cash on the sidelines. Where's a good place to take an entry in Bitcoin and Ethereum? Honestly, listen, if I wanted, I would use the weekly time frame. If I wanted the optimum re-entry into Bitcoin at this point in time, I would set some limit bids between, I would set some bids. I would use 89.26 probably as a first initial buy-in, and I would scale those down to like 5,600, man, honestly. I think that Bitcoin is insane. I think that Bitcoin is, I think that the signals coming on the weekly time frame are powerful, and we have not seen these signals since 2019, and then we didn't see them. We didn't see them since 2016, 2017, right? We didn't see the WADA volume confirmation in 2018 on fake pumps to the upside. We just did not. But looking for some pullbacks, again, you always want to try to get in at the most optimum price. So what we can wait for here is, kind of watching the daily, but I think you're better off utilizing these weekly levels, setting some bids at the previous weekly low. 94.40 is where I currently have bids set, and then we get stretched down to 89.26. Boris says, hey, Justin, can you talk about your experience on Binance US? How is the liquidity on there? I'm interested in getting more exposure to the altcoin market, but at the same time, don't. And then the rest of this is paid off. By the way, let me make sure I distribute those lemons before I forget. You guys will kill. Look at Squeaky Tadpole's like, fam, come on, dude. All right, let's do distributing rewards over here to the D-Live guys. And let me reread your question here. Overall, my experience on Binance US has been positive. Again, if you guys are interested, I think what Binance US do? I think that I know there's a link down in the description. If you guys want to go trade on Binance US, I think you get like a free $15. Link for that is in the description. Honestly, with my level of capitalization, they don't really have the liquidity to absorb my orders without slippage right now at this point in time. Again, it depends on the sizes of positions that you're taking. So to put that in the context, depending on the position size, depending on capitalization, like a daily swing trade, we're talking anywhere from $20,000 to $60,000 on an altcoin, depending on average, right? Sometimes more, sometimes less. It depends on the market depth and liquidity, right? So, again, this is something that I don't have to deal with a lot of students, but for some I do, because the group actually packs a pretty heavy capitalized punch, which is, for some traders out there, when you're looking at altcoin markets, if you're well capitalized, you do have to take market depth into consideration, right? And you do have to kind of adjust your risk. Like, you may not be able to use 2% risk. You might have to, if you're going to be trading altcoins, you might have to bring that down to like 0.5 or even 0.25%. It all just matters, because you don't want to move the market incorrectly against you. And now you're in a situation where you kind of need to add a little bit of nuance to your system of limit entries, especially on low sat coins, which is why, by the way, I have a preference for not trading against Bitcoin. I have a preference for trading against USDT. I think it's safer, it's more stable, it's easier to calculate, it's easier to manage risk, and there's more liquidity on average, right? And you can utilize market entries. Whereas if you're trading a low sat coin, you can't use market entries, or you've pushed the market against you. You're getting filled literally, anywhere from 10 to 20% higher because you're buying one sat higher. It's ridiculous. But such is life. And again, we cover the topics. Not that we never trade BTC pairs. Not that we ever never trade BTC pairs. So having said that, overall, I think it's a decent platform. I think it's going to grow. I think it's going to be popular. I think that it's got some work to do to compete with Coinbase Pro. But it's got some benefits to Coinbase Pro. It's got the Binance brand name. It's got the engine. Binance has licensed their engine to BAM trading services. So I have nothing negative to say about Binance. And I do trade on there, right? I do trade on there. I just have to kind of pack a little bit of a smaller punch with my trades over there. But again, give it time. I think the liquidity will grow. I think Catherine Coley's doing a fantastic job over there. I was able to speak with her in San Francisco, or excuse me, I spoke with, I didn't get a chance to speak with her in San Francisco. I was supposed to interview her in San Francisco. So we've only communicated digitally now. And it's, I think the platform's okay. I don't have anything negative to say about Binance US. I think it's fine. If you're packing $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a punch for an altcoin trade, or you just want to acquire and accumulate, I think it's absolutely fine. If you want to do kind of your purchasing for stocking away for the long term, again, Algo's on there, Cosmos, there's a lot of good platforms. If you're an American trader and you want to get good legal access to some of these altcoins, especially for some long-term holdings, Binance US is fantastic, right? Coinbase is adding more, and Coinbase has some good exposure to things that you want. You've got your Tezos, your OTX on there, your Orchid on there. So there's good opportunities there. But yeah, I have nothing negative to say about Binance US. All right. Ooh, Squeaky Tadpole getting that big win. Midwest Attempt, Sanic 2 Fest, Big Saintsy, and Wendy 2. Bring on the cream, because we got iced lemons. Thank you, Squeaky Tadpole. I really appreciate that, my brother. Yeah, Jack nailed it right there. Crypto is getting more serious when the government across multiple departments all come calling for their own crypto departments. Yeah. K7 Jixer says, are we tired of winning yet? Oh, he says, but at the same time, I don't want to experience what happened on XRP USD on BitMex this morning. Okay, so specific concerns to that. So again, Binance US does not enable margin currently. So I think that's far less of a concern. The incentive there is far less. Again, you're still dealing with very volatile assets, so you can still get those corrections. But the difference between Binance US is that you're doing a spot holding, so there's no liquidation fear. There's just loss of raw trade ROI, right? So again, position size appropriately. I have friends that do that trade seriously on Binance US. I do some serious trading on Binance US. Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. Just, again, just keep in mind the liquidity. Keep in mind the liquidity, right? Like, if you're packing a big punch for us, just put like 5 or 10,000 on there. Just be a little conservative until you feel comfortable with the platform, and never put yourself in a position on any individual trade to really be wrecked. All right. With that being said, we're going to be going into the weekend, guys. Bitcoin looking okay on the 4-hour, but again, low. Here on the hourly, we are looking to stretch and kind of push and attempt for that swing failure pattern movement to the upside. If that happens, I think the really good sign here is reclaiming. So again, you can take the aggressive entry on this hourly close above this current high of the SFP and consider it a swing failure pattern. Stop loss right here below 10,130, around 10,130. Just shooting for a retreat back into the range, but reclaiming 10,414, which is actually what I wanted to see here. We broke, reclaimed, pushed up, and then we got sold off into, unfortunately, and this is where we exited my position last night. I'm glad to have the trading team to be able to do that for me. Yeah, reclaiming that level now, I think would be quite nice, and really just punch the bearish narrative right in the face. But until then, just be conservative. I'm flat on Bitcoin right now, just spot long on Bitcoin with my bids down at 94.40. Okay. Wow, we almost went 30 minutes longer. So my editor is probably screaming at me right now. So let's go on and get out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Listen, this is going to be the last day of the show for the week. I will not be back until Monday. So make sure to hop in that Discord so you can stay up to date while we are not live streaming. If you have not already, make sure to follow us on our social media, subscribe to the channel here on YouTube, hit the bell icon or you're not going to get notifications, and make sure to help us out with the YouTube algorithm by hitting that thumbs up button. We really appreciate it. If you're over there on Twitch or DLive, consider giving us a follow or subscribing. We appreciate the support. This show is possible because of loyal viewers like you, and we really appreciate everything that you guys have allowed us to do and grow and invite us into your homes. And I really appreciate that, guys. Honestly, the whole team does. Big shout out to my team for today. Thank you to all of the guys who make the show possible with the research and the work and the graphics. You guys are beyond amazing. Absolutely awesome. Valentine's Day sale is going to go live tomorrow at 8 a.m. It's on our social media. It's on our Twitter. Coupon code CryptoLove, crackingcryptocurrency.com/pricing. All the links are in the description below. Let's see here. And for the premium members, you guys are going to be using the giveaway in the premium Discord. So make sure to pay attention to the premium announcements channel. If you're a recurring member, there'll be a different process for you. So just pay attention to the premium announcements channel in Discord, and we will get that taken care of for you guys. Again, the sale will be from 8 a.m. on Monday, and it will conclude on, 8 a.m. tomorrow, starting Friday, and it will end on Monday. So looking forward, we've had a bunch of new members join over the last few weeks, and I appreciate that. Welcome all the new members to our community, and I'm really eager, I'm really happy to see the hunger to learn, to grow, to become a better trader, to learn how to manage risk appropriately, because that is what we specialize in. And I've gotten so many messages about the sale. So I'm really excited to see that people are passionate and hungry to learn and grow and become better individuals and better traders, because that is what I want for all of you guys. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, or God forbid, death threats, leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to respond to you. We will be back on Monday. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend and a rest of the day. Trade safely, be responsible, and as always, be excellent to one another. I'll see you guys. Be good.